Hi, and welcome to week 8 of Great Writers of English Literature. This week, we're going to be reading from Charlotte Bronte's 1847 novel, Jane Eyre. Film versions of Jane Eyre tend to stress the love story that's an important part of Charlotte Bronte's book. How Jane, a young woman without money, power, or spectacular beauty, attracts the interest of Rochester, the wealthy and well-connected owner of Thornfield Hall. But films also tend to gloss over aspects of Jane's character that are really fundamental to Bronte's story. For instance, the actor who plays Jane is almost always someone really beautiful, even though the book stresses that Jane is not especially good-looking. In fact, the term plain Jane originates from this novel. More importantly, the romance, even though it's at the center of the plot, is still only a small part of the whole story. Jane Eyre belongs to a genre or style of book called a Bildungsroman, or a coming-of-age story. A Bildungsroman typically tells a story of how a character moves from childhood and powerlessness into confident and self-sufficient adulthood. You might be familiar with other books that follow this same pattern, like Sherman Alexie's Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, or Mark Haddon's Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Even the first Harry Potter book fits the bill. Poor young Harry starts out as an outcast in his own home, relegated to a cupboard beneath the stairs. But his worth is recognized when he's admitted to Hogwarts, and he goes on to establish himself as an especially gifted and powerful wizard. Jane's story is also about her own growing up and coming into power, not just about her finding love and getting married. This week, as we read select chapters of Jane Eyre together, we'll focus first on Jane's youth as an orphan, living as a despised outcast in the home of her wealthy aunt and cousins. We'll see that even though adults and other powerful figures are constantly looking to beat her down, Jane has the grit, intelligence, and self-assurance to stand up for herself, even as a child. Even in the love scene we read between Jane and Rochester, I'll be asking you to pay attention to the way Jane stands up for herself, insisting on her own worth and equality, even as the wealthy and powerful Rochester toys with her affections. In fact, the way Jane stands up for herself, her self-assertion and independence, was so shocking to 19th century readers that the book was trashed by many critics, including one who said that almost every word she utters offends us. As Jane grows up, establishing economic and personal independence as a teacher, readers come to realize that love and marriage might be only one part of a woman's satisfactions in life. One of the most important and dangerous things Victorian women could learn from reading Jane Eyre is that girls and women might have integrity and value of their own, and shouldn't necessarily knuckle under to capricious and unjust authority figures. This week's writing assignment asks you to turn to social media to celebrate Jane's life. Use quotations from our reading this week to recognize Jane as a hero, a person who stands up for herself and who serves as a model for others, helping us all seize opportunities for independence and speak truth to power.